You're listening to the world-famous White Roof Radio, Woofcast number 647, recorded August 29th, 2018. Brought to you by motoringstripes.com, cravenspeed.com, and outmotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and style. It's outmotoring.com. Okay, here we go. Hey, everybody, it's DB in Arizona with a brand new episode of the world-famous White Roof Radio. We're here talking about Mini Coopers, and God only knows what else is going to come up tonight during our show. With us, of course, my good pal, my good buddy, Mr. Todd Pearson, motoringstripes.com. Todd, say hi.
I am here. Hello.
And as a super-duper special treat, the good Reverend is back, our chief mechanic, Mr. Chad Miller from Detroit Tune, DetroitTune.com. Chad, say hi.
I am back from the dead, and I've got 7 weddings under my belt now.
Nice. Nice.
6 of those are mini customers.
And that doesn't mean you've been married 7 times. You've performed 7 weddings.
Yes, I've performed 7 weddings.
We call Chad the good Reverend because he is officially an ordained minister. Like, for
Yes.
reals. That's not us just making that up. He's legitimately an ordained minister, and he's married 7 couples. That's rad.
Yep.
That's super awesome. Nice to have you back. Chad hasn't been with us pretty much almost the entirety of the year since Before the Dragon, I think. Not the whole year, but quite a while. He's been busy. We've got a lot of stuff we're going to catch up with him about. We are going to probably talk about the JCW Countryman versus the BMW X1 and the X2. Possibly. Yeah, a little follow-up there. We are possibly going to talk about my latest fuel issue on my Roadster, maybe. And we are also possibly going to talk about the R5053 versus the F56. Maybe. We got a lot going on. Our brains are full. The boys are revved up. I'm holding them back right now with duct tape on their mouths, shutting them up. If you are a Black Roof Radio patron, you should go over and listen. It's a really good show, and it's very long. We got 30 minutes of Black Roof for you guys over at patreon.com/White Roof Radio. $1 a month, get you in. Done and done. $1 a show. Perfect. Easy peasy. Go take care of that. And you can listen to Chad and Todd and us talk about Mini Cooper stuff. It was actually really good. Like, for reals. For reals, yeah, really good.
Good stuff this time.
Yeah, like I might pull that one out in like 3 months and put it in the feed. That's how good it was. It's like a solid standalone show.
Yeah.
Right? But not yet. Well, anyway, you have to go check that out. Again, that's patreon.com/White Roof Radio. You can go check that one out. But we're going to talk about all that stuff. And then, like I said, who knows where we go from there. We're going to get to all that here in just a second. Before we do, let's start first. Let's say about outmotoring.com. Outmotoring.com. Number 1, go over there, read everything across the top. You can earn rewards as you shop. He's going to help you make sure you get the right parts for your car because he'll tell you which model car you have. He's going to support your club. If you have a club, if you're in a club and you guys need some kind of support, like a raffle drawing or something like that, outmotoring.com. He is going to take care of you in some way, shape, or form. It might be stuff out of the prize closet, or it could be something as awesome as a $100 gift certificate, right? Just all depends. All you have to do is ask. Super simple. Free shipping on like anything you buy. If you spend $195, it's going to ship free. 100% happiness. Easy returns and exchanges. And don't forget the hitch for your Mini so you can pull the Home Depot trailer or a teardrop or your PWC with your Mini Cooper. Yeah. Or put on a really slick bike rack that goes in like a receiver hitch. Yeah. All that's available from mountmotoring.com. That's actually Mini Dumar, but close enough. Mountmotoring.com. While you're there, I want you to go ahead and continue on the page. But I want you to go down the right side. You're going to see the newsletter sign up. I want you to put in your email address, please. When you do, you're going to get emails from Aaron that's going to give you a 5% discount code. Boom. So you're going to say 5% just because you get an email. I mean, come on. How can you not? You're also going to read his post that he puts up over at motoringfile.com, and he puts a coupon code in those. Super informative, too. Really, really well done. You should check those out for sure. And the reason why I'm telling you about outmotoring.com is because he has parts for your Mini. No, really, your Mini, too, and yours, and mine, and Todd's, and all of the ones that Chad has, and starting all the way back from the 2002 R50 all the way up to the latest, greatest R56. Go Fast parts. Maintenance parts, oil change kits, car care products, because summer's almost over. You got to get your car ready for winter, especially you guys east of the Rockies. It's time to start thinking about winter car care prep. Outmotoring.com's got you covered with everything you're going to need for that, right? Plus, you want to get the hats and the shirts, the shoes, watches, all the personal gear. Aaron's got you covered. He's like the Mini Cooper parts desk in the cloud, right? And that sounds really fancy. and because it is. But he has everything that you need. And if he doesn't have it, he's going to find it for you, and he's going to probably get it cheaper than dang near anybody else. Once you go over there, check it all out. That, of course, our friends over at outmotoring.com. And for you Aston Martin owners out there among us, he does have a limited selection of parts for you as well. No kidding. Go over there, check it out. And not just like keychains and shirts, but like brakes and stuff like that, like legitimate parts for your Vantage, should you actually happen to own one. Although, really, if you do own a Vantage and listen to White Roof Radio, do me a favor. Can you email us, feedback@whiteroofradio.com? I want to meet you, pal. Really, I do. That's, of course, our friends over at Outmotoring, outmotoring.com. Mini performance, speed, and actuation unit left. That's outmotoring.com. That's the window roller upper downer for an F56 Countryman Cooper S and JCW version. Told you, he has everything. News music, please. Wait, that's me.
Fluffy little cloud right here.
Let's start with follow-up on Gabe's post, Mini Countryman JCW versus the BMW X1 and the X2.
Yes.
Yes, let's start there. So last time we met, we had Gabe on, and honestly, I didn't listen to most of what he said because he just wouldn't shut up about the damn M5, right? And great, he loves it. He thinks it's awesome, but like anybody else, the BMW nerds, they kind of put me to sleep a little bit because I don't really have that much interest. I'm not that enthusiastic about BMW. It's like, oh, that's a good-looking car. Oh, it's fast. Cool.
But aren't you going to assume a $130,000 car is pretty awesome?
You're going to automatically assume that any car that has a price tag over $100,000 is going to be pretty awesome. Yeah. 7 Series, M5, MX6, sure. This is going to be an awesome car. How much? $135,000. Yeah, okay, it's awesome. I get it. But a half an hour worth of awesome? Anyway. So, for those,
it wasn't that long.
Well, not quite. But for those of you who also eyes kind of glazed over while Gabe was speaking and you missed where he started talking about the Countryman versus the X1.
Yeah, and the JCW Countryman versus the X1. And here's the thing, is we did this on the show last week, and I hope you heard it. If not, go back and listen to it. Right. He wrote the article over on Motoring File, and I think he left out the crucial details, why he's comparing both the JCW Countryman, the BMW X1, and the BMW X2. And that's because they all share the exact, and I mean exact same engine, the BMW B48 engine that's in my car. Yep. It's in my car. It's in the JCW Clubman. It's in the JCW Countryman. It's also in X1 and X2, all tuned to 228 horsepower.
Correct.
Identical specs, same drivetrain, everything is the same about it. And that's why he decided to compare these three cars.
But now, aren't these cars more similar than just the motors, Todd? Because they're all built on the UKL platform.
The UKL2 platform.
The UKL2 platform. So
by the way, you guys know what UK that stands for?
I'm saying United Kingdom Level 2.
It's actually German. It's Unterklasse.
Of course.
It's which is basically low class or loosely translated to entry level, they like to say.
Oh, but okay.
Literally it's lower class.
It's the entry level platform on the BMW. Right. But since all these cars are built on the UKL2 platform, right? That means they all share the same chassis.
There's even more things, and as Gabe said in the show last week, that even the JCW Countryman has bigger brakes on it. But the X2, for example, has the exact same brakes, literally exact same brakes as the Cooper S hardtop.
Wow. Okay.
Exact. So there's a lot of economy of scale going on here for BMW in these cars, and I think the whole point is really, you're better off with the Mini than you are with either the BMWs, because both of the BMWs are going to cost you $5,000 to $7,000 more.
Right, and the Mini is going to get you a little bit better kit, brakes, for example.
Yeah, why not get a JCW Countryman versus either an X1 or X2, because they're boring.
Yeah.
He didn't come right out and say that, but I'm paraphrasing Gabe here.
I want to say I think he kind of did.
Yeah.
I want to say I think he kind of did. Maybe he didn't say boring, but he did say that the Countryman was by far a better car.
But anyway, so there was a lot of discussion going on. I saw a lot of reaction on the web, and comments were down at Motoring File, so I saw them flying.
Comments are still down at Motoring File. I'm still working on that. Thank you.
So I saw a lot of comments over at Facebook from the posts of people who are like, why is he comparing these cars? It's not really the same thing. When I had to point out, No, there's more alike about these cars than there is different.
Yes.
I mean, other than the trim levels and the body and the color,
right?
It's you guys would agree that an engine, a drivetrain,
and chassis,
chassis being identical, pretty much is a good comparison for especially performance of a car, right?
Absolutely, I would agree. Chad, would you not agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They all have the same chassis. They all have the same engine. Yes.
But then it then begs the question. A lot of people leaves them scratching their heads. Why would BMW do this? And the answer is really to save money and to make it, to give more offerings here. Mm-hmm. And they don't really publicize it that much because, seriously, when you walk into a BMW dealer and they're like, you realize that Mini Cooper Countryman over there is pretty much the exact same car as this. Yeah. Or $7,000 less.
Right. But they're not going to say it's a better car, but they're going to tell you it's the same car, but it's less expensive. And
in the end, BMW corporate doesn't really care which one of them you buy, as long as you buy one of the three, because it goes to their bottom line.
Right.
However it goes. Now, I'm sure the BMWs are probably more profitable because they can't be that much more expensive to make than the Mini is. So there's more profitability. They'd rather sell the BMWs.
Right. See, now, personally, I don't like the X2. To me, the X2 looks a little Subaru-ish, especially from the rear three-quarter view. Just a little. I'm looking at it right now, this picture that Gabe posted. I'm going, is that a BMW or is that a Subaru? It definitely doesn't look like a BMW from the rear three-quarters.
And here's what I like about the BMW X2, and then we can move on and start talking about minis again, is that I think they've kind of broken the mold of the boring mold that they've had so long with their SUV line.
Yes. The X3 and the X5.
X5, they're all kind of similar looking and really boring, really dull.
Yes, I agree.
They're great cars, don't get me wrong, but they're really kind of boring looking. And this kind of broke the mold. And so I give it to BMW for kind of stepping out and making something a little more.
I would have to agray with that a little bit. I still say it looks a little bit like a Subaru.
Hey, the Countryman still looks better than
Countryman still looks better than both of them, for sure. And I talk to people just out and about, like people in the office, and we start talking about cars, which is always weird when you're in an office full of nerds and they start talking about cars. But when they say to me, hey, Don, have you seen that Countryman, that new Countryman? And I go, oh, yeah, it's really nice. Did you see one? I said, oh, man, that was a really good-looking car. I liked it a lot. And then it's like, wow, okay, nice. And this is from a guy driving a Chevy Sonic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's I mean, if you ask me, and if you're looking at a $45,000 budget, you're stupid if you're not looking at the Countryman, if that car fits your mold. Especially if you're looking at the Volvo, the C, which one is the $40,000 one?
The XC40.
Yeah, the XC40, or even the Hondas, or the Toyota.
You can pretty much check it out for 42, which is nice.
Right.
About that car, but even if you're looking at a CRV, which is, I don't know, when you equip the top end CRV, you're not quite at 40,000, but you're pretty darn close.
You're pretty darn close. Same probably with the RAV4, right? So if you're looking at a baby SUV, the Countryman has to be on your list, especially with the boosted reliability, right?
Yeah. I still think Mini's got the perception problem from people. They're like, oh, it's a cheap little car. No, it's not neither cheap nor little anymore.
Right. And somebody else I know is looking to speak about little. Somebody was looking at a Fiat. And I go, well, what's the safety on the Fiat? And so they pulled it up. And the Fiat 500 still does not have a good safety rating from the IHS.
Yeah. It's a really small car.
Yeah, but you would think that because VW did it with the Beetle,
and by
BMW did it with the Mini, why couldn't Chrysler pull it off with a Fiat 500?
Let me translate for Chad. Chad says a small car, and small means shitty in this case.
Oh, well, it is. I mean, obviously Chrysler's right here in my backyard. I mean, we see it all the time. So I see these cars on the road, and they pull up next to me, and I don't mind small cars. I love small cars. I love to take a small car and make it fast and throw it around on the road, which is why I got in the Minis.
Right.
But when you put that car next to ours, it's a lot smaller.
Yes.
And I've driven them multiple times, and there's a certain real cheapness to it. I mean, anybody that's ever driven like the first Dodge Neon, you realize, like, you know what, it was great in high school, but I never want to drive one again. Like, because it was
like fine. It's like my 2005 XB. It was like,
yes,
it was kind of, it was a little bit better than your bike because it was faster and it had heat, but really kind of broke down just as much. So, it's in that level of, well, I can drive this to high school, but once I get a real job, I shouldn't be driving this because it's not really anything.
So, Chad, are you putting the Fiat 500 in that class of cars, the base Fiat 500, as basically sticking it in with the first-gen Dodge Neons?
I'd like to point out you just said sticking it in, but yes, I am.
Dad is still 13, by the way.
Yes.
As are we all.
I like it.
As are we all.
But I mean, obviously the Abarth is much better. It sounds much better, and there's some good stuff that they can add to it.
Higher quality on the interior, blah, 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 blah.
Even the Abarth still has 168 horsepower. It doesn't even have as much horsepower as the Cooper S.
Yeah, I mean, anything you want to fit in that thing and beyond like 2 bags of need, like a basket or something. I mean, you're not getting skis in it. You're not getting snowboards. You're not getting any bikes in it. I mean, I know a lot of customers that have minis that throw a bike in the back really easy without having a bike rack. So that car is really tiny.
Yes.
But if it's just a commuter car and you just need it to get from point
and
A to point B,
that's all he needs it to, and maybe the occasional he has small children, and they go, you know what, for your use that'd be okay. You're looking at that or a scooter, that'll give you a roof and air conditioning. Get that.
But you're not taking this on a Fiat Takes Estates. I mean, that car has absolutely no luggage room.
No.
So
no. And you know what? That's one of the cars too. Really quick, Todd, and then you can go. The Fiat 500. If you guys have been looking, just for curiosity's sake, because you've got a few minutes in the office, and so you pull up an Auto Trader, the Fiat 500, not even the Abarth, they are cheap. Like less than 15,000 miles, going for like $7,000-8,000 for these cars.
Yep.
They're cheap. They have lost crazy.
Speaking of small cars, my sister-in-law recently, like last month or within the last month, just picked up a VW Golf, not a GTI, just the Golf.
Just a Golf.
That, and it's a 4-door car, and it looks really small. I mean, she got it. She wanted a small car. They've got an SUV. They got an Acura SUV in the family, and it was funny because we were chatting, and what you perceive as small, and we had our Roadster there with us, which, is also a very small looking car from the outside.
Yes.
I said, you think your car is small, right? I says, we pulled up right next to your Golf, and I bet you your Golf is almost a foot longer than our Mini.
Yep.
And there was a big discussion, like, no way, that's not possible. That's not possible, whatever. And they went, dude, it is like 10.5 inches longer than our 56 generated.
Yeah, the Volkswagen Golf is a larger car than the R60 Countryman.
Well, it's within 3/4 of an inch of the Clubman.
Dude.
The GTI dimensions are within 3/4 of an inch of the Clubman, which is huge.
That's a huge car.
So figure.
So for those of you who keep saying that Mini's getting too big,
I hope you're saying that the Golf is enormous.
Right.
Well, I'll tell you,
or the Jetta or the Altima. Have you guys looked at these cars? The new Sentras. Oh my God, they're freaking huge. Go ahead, Chad.
We've got a Volkswagen GLI in the family now.
Yes.
And that car is big.
Yeah.
It is a full-on
That's a
four-door
full sedan. Right? Yeah.
With a big but tiny trunk.
Okay.
we went and bought a cooler, and it's just a little cooler on wheels that your airport cooler almost, if you will.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't fit in the trunk. I was like, I'm like, we bought the smallest one. It wouldn't fit in the trunk. But it is a big car. I mean, when we pull it in the garage, you've got to have it all the way in, and it's got parking sensors on the front, the back. I mean, the whole 9 yards. It goes off in a heartbeat, and it lets you know you're about to hit something, but you have to have it pulled all the way into my, spacious 3-car garage. It's very hard to maneuver around, and you're never sure if you're like, am I going to hit the corner? Am I going to curb a wheel? Like it's a big car, and you would not think a Jetta as a big car. I mean, it's a mid-sized car, but this thing is huge.
They're huge now. They're absolutely massive now.
And I guess
they became American.
I know. I guess the whole point is everybody says minis are getting so big and everything. And by the way, my F-56 isn't that much bigger than the Roadster. They park next to each other every day in the garage, and it's imperceptible, the difference in length of these cars. I mean, my car's, it's probably legitimately 9 or 10 inches longer than the Roadster is, but it doesn't seem that much bigger when they're parked next to each other. So I guess the whole point is it's all relative, and everybody who's like, I'm not going to buy another Mini, they're just too freaking huge. I just want to go, come on, people. Just go, what are you going to buy? Oh, I'm going to hang on to my R50 forever. No, you're not. That thing's going to freaking blow. It's going to explode.
No, it's not. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that in a bit. But, it's okay to say you're not going to get an F-56 because you just can't handle the front end. I'm okay with that. Totally okay. It's okay to say you don't want to buy an F-56 because you don't want to spend that kind of money on a Mini, or because you don't want a car payment. That's okay. But you can't say that Mini makes too big of a car, because they don't. They still don't. They're just perceived as bigger because you guys don't go to the dealer and actually look at them. Sorry.
Yeah, I still love parking. I mean, my F-56 is easy to park.
Yeah.
It's less easy than other ones because I've got 18-inch wheels with spacers, which don't help the turning radius, believe me. No. It's like crank it all the way, full lock, and I still can't do it. But it's still better than most cars, like Chad, like you were saying. It's probably way easier to maneuver my car than it is a Jetta.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't think Minis are getting too big. But DB, you are correct. I would let people complain about the looks of the front end of the.
I get that, because I still catch the F-56 off guard on occasion, and I go, ooh, ouch, that's just not an attractive car. Or you see the 4-door hardtop, and it just kind of makes you shudder.
Yeah, can I say one thing about the new F-Series that have been available lately? Is my dealer is very smart about this.
Yeah.
They've been ordering most of the cars with the blackout package, which comes with the black grille, and it gets rid of that giant chrome grille on the outside.
Yeah.
And it really helps the front end.
Yeah.
Of the F generation cars.
Agreed.
And it only took Mini 5 years to figure it out.
There you go. Yeah, because and I understand you don't like the front end. Okay, great. Didn't say you don't like the front end, right? Stop being a wiener.
It's still ridiculously fun to drive.
It is still not a front end that I'm like, oh my god, that's so goddamn sexy, but
not at all.
It does grow on you after a while.
It's only taken 4 years for me to start getting used to it.
Yeah, and like any new thing, like no matter what it is, I mean, it took a while for the 53 owners to accept the 56 and et cetera, et cetera. What I'm really excited to see in the long term is how the reliability shows up in customers, and if they get customers back and stuff like that, because I do get, the whole R56 customers are like, oh my God, this car's a pile, and I've fixed so many things and stuff.
Right.
The F56 people are not experiencing that like the R56 people were.
Right. We were just talking about that during Black Roof Radio too.
Yeah, I'm wondering how that'll affect in the long term of that, because I'd love to see that stuff coming back, because I don't want to tell somebody like, hey, well, sorry, your car's broken and it needs a lot of work.
Right.
Well, and I still, like I said it last week on the show, and I'll just reiterate it again until people finally hear me, is if you're buying a used Mini, I have 2 words for you: extended warranty.
Extended warranty, especially if it's a 2007 to 2013.
I don't care what it is. It's a BMW product. Get the extended warranty.
And the extended warranty is going to cost you extra money, but because it's a BMW product, but
it'll pay for itself.
But read the fine print.
Yeah.
Make sure that you understand exactly what they're covering, because there's a few things they won't cover and nobody will cover. I mean, shocks are aware of
the exhaust,
brakes.
Shock, they're not going to cover.
But, make sure that they cover all of the engine internals and all of the big stuff. And so, buy the in platinum gold super package. Don't just buy the, hey, this is plaid package.
Right.
Go all out.
Yeah.
It'll pay for itself.
Yeah, but we were talking offline beforehand. This is our very first gen Mini Coopers. So the 2002, 2003 Mini Cooper S, compared to Todd's car. And Todd, what year is your car again?
I have a 2016 JCW.
So Todd's car is practically brand new JCW, right? He's got 18,000 miles on his car. Short of minor software glitches, his has been in the shop 3 times for oil changes.
3 times in 30 months. I've owned the car for 30 months.
3 times in 30 months. As a comparison, for those of you who are wondering, as a comparison, my 2002 build, 2003 Mini Cooper, within the first 30 months, had spent 3 solid months in the shop. It was in the shop so much I could have lemoned her.
Yeah.
As a comparison. So that's how far Mini has come. And even so, I might imagine a lot of the R56 guys, if you had a 2007 R56S or 2008 or 2009, holy crap, right? In comparison, Todd's car, he's had his car for 30 months. He's had oil change done and minor software glitches that nobody cares about, and they fix it when he changes his oil. In 30 months, you had an R56, you went through 3 turbos.
I want to say, I don't think I've had, and this is...
Plus, all the other things that went wrong, Chad could probably come up with a litany of items on the R56.
We don't have enough show.
We don't have enough show to cover all the things on the R56.
I don't think there's been a single recall on my car.
Right.
There have been some campaigns which are like, oh, if it's in, we're going to fix this. I don't think I've had a single recall on my 2016 JCW. I may be wrong. Somebody correct me.
Sure. Now, Todd, let me ask you just a couple of basic questions. This is more R56 versus F56. In the last 30 months you've owned your car, has anything fallen off? Just like out of nowhere, you're just driving along and all of a sudden, like a rearview mirror falls off or a piece of glass falls out.
On its own?
On its own,
no.
Okay. So automatically right there, this is better than an R56.
Yeah, no, literally, I'm joking. There's nothing that's even fallen off that I've run into or done something that I haven't taken off on my own.
Sure.
A lot of the parts of these cars, they're pretty easy to dismantle.
Yeah.
And Chad, when you start working on more F56s, you're going to go, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. Why couldn't all Minis be this easy to work on? They really are pretty easy to take apart from the top down.
We're starting to get into them a little bit more, but I'm definitely kind of excited in the next couple of years to see a lot more of those coming in and out of service and doing the extended part of it. So.
Yeah. So and the nice thing is because they're so easy to take apart, you would think they would fall apart more easily, but they don't. It's been a really solid car, and like I said, I wish I had more than 18,000 miles that I can say, because for most people, like DB, you said, your first 3 months of owning your first Mini, you put 18,000 miles on it, and
correct.
It's 30. It's gonna be 10 times longer. Yeah. So I don't drive, and I'm not hard on a car. Well, I drive it hard, but they've been 18,000 pretty souped up miles, if you will.
Yeah.
But I keep the
and here's a factory race car. It's also a factory race car, people. Todd's car, he's got all the JCW parts, and he's been in the shop 3 times for oil changes.
Yeah, a couple of software updates.
Versus the R50 or the R56. To me, that is truly, truly tremendous. Now, it's at a price. Base price of my 2003 Mini Cooper, $16,400 in 2003.
Yeah, and my JCW, wait a minute, I don't want to misquote. I've got the Monroney here. I mean, this is before I put all the stuff on
before
it.
You put all the stuff. Sure. Base price, JCW Mini Cooper hardtop is 28?
Well, hit 33.9 was the...
That was your out-the-door price?
Yeah, it was before I started putting stuff on it.
Yeah, now I don't know what the adjustment for inflation on all that is or anything, but there's probably a fair bit, but still.
I'm not making that much more money than I was 15 years ago. I'll say that.
I'm not making that much more money than I was 15 years ago either. Anyway, it's just a huge difference. And we started talking about this during Black Refund. I want to make sure we brought it up here because I know we spend a lot of time harping on how bad we think Mini's doing running the brand. But at the end of the day, they're building a better car than they ever have. This car is better than the R50, R53. This car is better than the R56. Yeah. Right? Except for the 2014s, which were problematic. But they got that fixed straight away. And if you're looking at an F car and you're getting a 2015, 16, 17, or new 18, done.
And see, I think it's hard for Chad to say because there's very little that's original on Chad's Mini left.
I'm trying to think really what it is. It's the carpet.
Yeah. Okay.
The dash.
Headliner maybe?
Well, no, actually, the dash has been changed too. The headliner is still original, yes.
Okay. Door handles?
No, those are different.
Boot latch?
I've painted the car. I've done everything. No, it's all new. So it's like, the carpet's still original. So there's a few things that are, but it's a labor of love. I could have had a Ferrari 458 or a Lamborghini Aventador for what I've.
And for those of you who are wondering if this is even a valid comparison, Todd's car, brand new model, brand new everything. So Roxy had gone in the shop and spent so much time in the shop having things replaced, like the steering wheel, like the seat, like door latches, like I can't even tell you how many software updates. All these things that had gone bad for reasons passing understanding. The leather wore out, this mechanical piece broke, and it was all because they were sub-quality parts or something to that effect. They weren't properly tested, whatever. Versus Todd's car had nothing like that go wrong. So
all the goofy stuff have been like user error on my part. Like I thought I had a boot latch problem. Turns out when I was closing it, I was barely touching the latch.
Yeah.
And unlocking it again, the car would close, but it wouldn't close all the way. It would just pop open a little bit.
Yeah.
So it would still be latched, and I kept thinking, there's something wrong with the latch. I took it in, and they're like, no, here, watch this. Don't touch it. Just let it close. Just
Hey, can you still get the check engine light to come off if you start off in gravel, like loose traction situation where your wheels are spinning, and then you hit get traction again, like hitting the street?
No. In fact, I've tried it a few times lately. I've peeled out in first, second, third, and I am not kidding. I spun the wheels in fourth gear. There's so much torque in the JCW. Wow. But you got to be really good at shifting and get it up to a red line before you do it to make it happen. But you can make it happen in the JCW.
Nice.
If you do it just right. And it used to throw codes when you'd spin the wheels too much. And not so much anymore. They've taken care of that software issue, and I haven't thrown any drivetrain errors since it was brand new.
Nice.
And that was a glitch that we knew about. We learned about that DB in the car.
We discovered that in 2014.
Yeah, on Mini Takes Estates.
Yeah, we could make that thing throw codes.
Maybe you were driving.
One of us was driving, and I think it was me because I was doing some evasive maneuvers, and it's like all of a sudden, check engine light. Huh. They cleared it, and then Todd was able to replicate it, and I think Alex replicated it, and Gabe did too. I mean, we all ended up triggering codes on that car because we were doing burnouts in the dirt and then hitting the street and just didn't know what to do. Anyhow, so that's that.
They've taken care of a lot of little software issues, and luckily that's what they've been, and I think it's awesome. And hey, speaking of software, did you guys know that you can get things coded to your car by going to Detroit Tuned and having them code stuff on your car? And this is
and I brought
special
this up.
blue Mohawk.
Pretty much all generations of the Mini now, right?
Because there's this guy on Facebook, and he's all over Facebook and all over Instagram. And I shot a message over to Chad, and I wanted to make sure that we were clear on this. This guy's in the UK, sure, whatever, and he does all the stuff. But it's nothing that Marzo can't do either at Detroit Tuned. For reals. So if you're looking to get stuff done, coded to your car, the UK flashers or different other miscellaneous things, there's a gazillion different options. Follow me home lights and all this other stuff. There's a list. I'm gonna link the list up in the show notes as soon as Chad gets it to me. I promise. I'm gonna share it with you guys.
One of my favorite R53 mods was rolling your windows up with the key, because it used to be you could roll the windows down
and one touch up. If you have an R56.
Right, but to get the windows to roll up in an R53, you used to have to put the key in the door and turn it, hold it. And that was the way they did it. It was like a security thing. Well, he can program that in for you.
See, there you go. All kinds of stuff.
And Chad, we do that all the time.
Yeah, Chad's going to give me a list. And if you're within, a 5-hour drive to Detroit Tuned, Chad's already your shop. But if you're there, you can just go, yo, make my car cooler, Marzo, and he'll go, here's the list.
And it's not expensive either. What were you saying? Like
$60
for $60, you can do all you want.
It's a smorgasbord of everything. So it's 20 each or 60 for unlimited. So
there you go. And there's a ton. And there's a ton.
And chances are when you look at the list, and when I had my GP, I had Marzo do a couple of things for me, and it was only like one or two things. So when you look at them, you're like, oh, okay, chances are here. But if it's more than that, hey, just pay the $60.
If you have an R56 with Mini connected, he can take away the accept screen when you start your car. Stupid warning, don't use this when you're moving, and you have to hit accept. Yeah, he can take that away. It's awesome.
There's at least 5 or 6 things I'm like, oh, you would really love this on a day-to-day life. And then there's like 12 things. It's like, wow, I could really probably figure out how this could make my life better.
Yes.
So, you figure 12 at 20, it's a hell of a deal. So,
yeah.
It is, under the instructions tab on Detroit Tune, there's the whole list of everything we can do from all the different generations and what it will do. And if you have any questions, and we're working on that whole remote thing. So, if you really want it, we'll make it happen.
There you go. Also, I want you guys to make sure to do this now. Pause the show. Well, don't pause yet. Pause after I tell you to pause again. I want you to make sure you're following Detroit Tuned over on Facebook. Got a new website going to be coming up here really soon. I don't want you guys to miss it when it happens. So that's facebook.com/Detroit Tuned. You guys know there because most of you already follow Detroit Tuned anyway. But if you're not, search for Detroit Tuned on Facebook. Make sure you follow along and play the home game. And Chad also, they get pictures posted and videos posted of the new dyno in action and all kinds of really cool stuff. You don't want to miss any of that. Right, Chad?
Yeah, we
and there's
there's
lots of pictures, and there's pictures of the Nova.
A real good, there's pictures of the Nova on there. But we use our Facebook and our Instagram account, quite often.
Yes,
and we'll put special deals up at least twice a week and stuff like that because it's quick, it's easy for us. And if you're looking and you're seeing that type of stuff and that's right up your alley, then boom, you need to. Get on that type of stuff. So
exactly, you should definitely be following not only Detroit Tune, but you should also be following the other sponsors here under the white roof. Our friends over at outmotoring.com and Craven Speed on the Twitter and the Instagram and the Facebook. Detroit Tuned and all the other 3 and the other 2. Make sure you get those followed so you don't miss out on a thing. Especially cool pictures of the Nova. I like the Nova. Nova's badass. I love it when Chad posts pictures of the Nova.
It almost had dyno records up until just yesterday. There was a 5 Series BMW on there and made 500 horsepower. So I lost the title, but we'll just have to twin charge it or something like that.
You have to put it on the bottle, Chad.
Well, as there was one day I was like, okay, well, we have all these cars here. We're a little slow today. Let's figure out how to use this tool. We're gonna get on the dyno. We're just gonna keep doing cars.
That was the day. Didn't you put Lindy on the dyno too?
Oh yeah, we put every car on there. We put Lindy, we put the Formula V, we put the Cougar rental on there. I mean, everything's been on there. But I physically did a burnout in the Nova on the dyno.
On the dyno, wow.
Yeah, I was like, wow, I totally just smell smoke now. And I went and I touched the tires, and the tires were sticky and stuff. But that was using the drag strip feature on that, and it really works. I mean, conservatively, I was being, I didn't want to break the car. I didn't want to break the dyno. I mean, everything was still pretty new, but I ran a 1267 in the Nova.
Wow, on the dyno?
On the dyno, yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, it does work. It is part of the whole the coolness of everything, but we'll keep plugging away and getting there.
And just say that street cred to your company's name, Chad. Detroit Tuned.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
That was the whole idea. This is where we've been trying to work towards, for years now, because everyone's like, oh, well, do you tune yet? No, it's not. It's coming. Well, it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to go over here, whatever, So, yeah, this has all been, needing to come up to fruition for a long time and really, get there. And now everyone thinks it's like, oh, you can just press a button and it's tuned and it's done. You got the dyno, right? And everything's, well, no, we're still getting to that next little level, we're helping all the customers on the phones with all 90,000 different questions of whatever they need, whether it's suspension or engine or, should I rebuild this car or, hey, I'm in the shop, can I borrow these tools? And, so, I mean, we're fielding all of those questions and we're getting the tuning aspect of all the cars as fast as we possibly can.
Sweet.
But we already rep all of the tuners that are out there currently right now, no matter what it is. So, I mean, if you already have an R53 and you're like, hey, I totally want to RMW tune it and stuff like that, we can do that. That's good to go. We're ready, and flying on that type of stuff. So,
nice.
It's going to be
Chad, remind us too. I want to make sure I'm correct. You have the full capabilities to do the full tweak and alignments too, right? For max low or the special alignment setup for track day or autocross or drag strip or whatever. You can do all that as well, right? So not just tuning of the mechanicals, but tuning of the suspension.
Yep. Sweet. Custom alignments, corner balancing of corner for coilovers, air ride suspensions, whatever you wanted. It's low and slow or fast in corners. Nice. We can make it all happen.
See, Detroit Tune, DetroitTune.com got you covered. Just draw a map, draw a line 5 hours away, make a big circle. If you're in that circle, go. Just stop. Don't delay. Go now and check it out.
We have people literally 30 minutes away. They're like, "Oh, you're so far away," and I was like, my customer base is really Toronto to Milwaukee to St. Louis to Cincinnati to New York.
That's, even Philly. I know some of the Philly kids drive out, and that's 7 hours.
Yeah. 30 minutes away. Chad's response is, "Cry more." Get your ass.
Yeah. They're like, "Well, do you know any shops in my area?" I was like, "Nope, I don't. I don't trust anybody. Nobody knows what they're doing." Yep. And that's true. I mean, there's only a couple people that we recommend, and they're on our dealer list on the shop page. But really, I mean, if you're 3 hours away and you're trying to find somebody, it's like, well, you can come to me and I'll do it right the first time. It'll be done right, or I can try to tell you that guy how to do it. And
especially if you're looking for something specialized, especially for track day tunes, especially for going faster than you should be going tunes, that kind of stuff. Chad, really, he's your guy if you're over there. Trust me. Make it happen. Done. What else do we got tonight, fellas? We have a quick spot from Craven Speed. Who cares about Craven Speed?
Craven's awesome.
We love Craven Speed. All of us care about Craven Speed, and you guys do too. Our friends over at cravenspeed.com, they're the ones that threw that really cool MTTS kickoff party, right? Really rad. Food trucks, all kinds of cool stuff. I know a lot of you guys went. It was an awesome time. I didn't go, but I heard it was awesome. They're the ones that have all the really cool, super high-tech, custom-made from unobtainium stuff for your Mini, and for about 30 other makes, and not just like the stubby antenna. Right? FlexPod adapter. I actually saw one of those in the wild on some random GP from Texas. And that was pretty cool. I was really excited. FlexPod adapter is the way you want to hold your phone in your car, especially if you're in a state where you can't hold your phone in your car. FlexPod adapter, got your back. Left side, right side, doesn't matter. Works great. Platypus license plate mount, as Gabe talked about last week, as I talked about last week. If you're in one of those crazy states where you have to have a license plate on the front of your car, right? You want that so you don't have to drill the bumper. It's awesome. Stubby antenna, duh. Dipstick on the first generation, second generation cars, because you can read it and it doesn't break. It's not impossible to stick in and pull out, right? So it's a giant spring. It's awesome. I love that part. The Gemini, we love that. The shift knobs, the short shift kit for the F56, OMG. The shift well cover for the F56, right? Plus all the GoPro adapters that go like all over inside your car. Craven Speed has all this stuff plus a ton more. And like I mentioned already, if you don't have a Mini Cooper in your driveway, you have something else, click on the Browse by Make button and you will see all the cars that Craven Speed makes parts for. And it's not, like I said, not just stubby antennas. It's platypus adapter. It's the shift kits. They do a ton of stuff for Miatas, for example, for the MX-5. A lot of stuff for Toyota trucks too. I think that might be employee cars. You never know. You have to go over and check all this stuff up. Check that stuff out. It's all over at Cravenspeed, cravenspeed.com. Yeah, the Gemini is super rad. That's like, yeah. This is the stuff that you guys need for your Mini. This is stuff that you want for your Mini. And the cool stuff about Craven Speed, too, the cool thing about this stuff is if you go, you know what, I really like the FlexPod adapter, or I really want the Gemini adapter for my phone, or I really want the short shift kit, you can go to Chad. And Chad can hook you up and install it for you if, like, the shift kit, for example, is out of your comfort zone. And you know what? Craven's totally cool with that. You can go to Jerry here in Arizona. You go to Wade down in Georgia. You can go to the boys on the East Coast. Doesn't matter. They all love selling Craven Speed stuff. And if you're buying Craven Speed stuff, that's good enough for me. But if you're a little bit more DIY, click over cravenspeed.com. Load up your cart. Check out when you do. There's a comment form there. Make sure you say thanks for supporting White Roof Radio. We really appreciate that. So do they. They, of course, are bestest pals in all of the Pacific Northwest. That's, of course, Craven Speed. Cravenspeed.com. Anyhow, that's that. Since last we met, and we're going to be done, unless anybody has anything else.
No, sir.
Since last we met, my car decided to get broken again. This was a lot of fun. I filled up the tank 3 tanks after Jerry had replaced my in-tank fuel filter. and it smelled of fuel, really strong smell of fuel. And I was going in for brakes anyway, and this is a post over at DB Mini, you guys probably read about this. As it turns out, there was a less than a pinhole crack in my low pressure fuel pump. So that has been replaced. So now I have a solid fuel system in my Roadster. Not going to go wrong for at least, I don't know, 6 months. Sorry, that was really bad. And I'm rocking new tires that I'm going to tell you guys. I'll tell you guys about once I finish getting the candy coating worn off. That's the Yokohama YK740 GTXs. I believe it's a exclusive to Discount Tire. And so far, about 300 miles in, so they're just about at breaking point. They're actually pretty good. I'm enjoying them a lot. And it tells me how bad the Hankooks that were on it prior, how bad those sucked. Those things were like made of concrete compared to these tires. Tires make a huge difference. Yeah, I thought there was something wrong with the alignment. Alignment wasn't that far off. It was barely. It was not enough to get in a snit over. But like for example, with the Hankooks, I never experienced torque steer in my Mini Cooper S. Ever. Didn't happen. With these Yokos, it's like, oh look, there's torque steer. That's interesting. The turn-in's quicker. The whole bit, everything's better. It's craziness.
Interesting. Do you know what size you put on there?
Same size. Same exact size. 205
yeah, a good tire can make the
205 45 R17s. Just crazy.
What was the price of those?
The 120 each, not installed. So $119 each.
God, I could have totally saved you $20.
But then you would have to ship them from me,
I still hadn't get them shipped.
No, you should have went with the Firestone Indy 500s. Those tires are amazing. You would have been like, wow, this tire blows my mind, and they're cheaper than what you just got.
Well,
really?
But then, you know what? They're Firestone tires, Chad, because then the next thing, he's got to grow a mullet.
Well, actually...
yeah, I don't need white walls or white letter tires, Chad.
Well, they're not.
No,
but
white letter tires are badass now. They're coming.
They're coming back. The BF Goodriches are coming back.
Yeah, they're all...
The Firestone Indy 500s are on comparison with your Bridgestone RE71Rs. They're that sticky.
Really?
Yes. I've been putting people into them, and they're blown away on how nice those tires are.
That is a damn fine looking tire, Chad. But so what I'm doing with my car, that's an awesome looking tire. I would rock that tire so hard, is I don't drive in a manner that I could justify a tire with that tread pattern.
You don't live in a climate that has snow.
Chad, I never drive over 45 miles an hour.
That's
rarely.
fine.
I never take corners faster than 15 miles an hour. A tire like that's wasted on me. So instead I went with the Yokohama, which has a 60,000 mile warranty on it and tread life guarantee of 60,000 miles. And so I was like, well, that'll be a good tire for me to have. Because it's boring and pedestrian, and I'm not driving a race car. It's just I'm commuting. I've got the wrong tool for the job. We talked about this during the last show. This is definitely the wrong car for what my driving needs are currently. So I'm just setting it up so that it drives the best that it will as a commuter, which means boring tires, right? And I know those Firestones were cheaper, but that's just too much tire. That's just too much tire for me. I love the look of that. I would rock that so hard. That's reminiscent of the old ES1, the Yokohama ES1000s back in the day. Yeah, kind of reminds me of that.
But I've been putting some people in this tire, and they're just so blown away because they will pick some other tire. And I was like, really? You want that $150 tire? Try this one. And they look at it and they're like, wow, that would really be amazing. And they get into it, and they're like, wow, this tire has really blown me away. And, it's summer performance only tire. And I bet you probably do corners more than 15. You drive a Mini. You're not driving a minivan.
Dude, you would be... Today, for example, I'm driving to work in Arizona after rush hour was over. And I'm on the highway, and I'm not kidding. I'm doing 75 miles an hour on the highway, like legitimate 75 miles an hour, not indicated 75 miles an hour. I was, I had the speedometer set to 78. And I'm getting past, like I'm standing still by every car because they're all doing like over 90. But then as soon as we get on the streets, these people decide that they don't want to go fast, and then they slow down to 10 under the speed limit. And before anybody makes a right-hand turn, they come to a complete stop. Complete stop. So
That's
yeah,
supposed to be bad.
DB says that, Chad, and I'm the kind of guy that I'm like drifting my JCW through the parking lot at Costco, you know,
Right.
around the light.
I told DB to move to Kansas once. So.
yeah. Anyway, I know. I'll just shut up now. So
I'm going to get banned from Costco for that comment. I really don't.
Yeah, Chad, you are 100% correct. The Firestone Indy 500 and the 205/45 R17 at Tire Rack available for $108.22.
Wow.
Yeah, they're a really nice tire, and
that is
rumor has it
tire.
that Bridgestone actually bought that tire, and it's probably going to go up in the next year or so to a more reasonable price for what that tire is. But we were getting that tire for like $90 a tire for a while, and I was like, you can't beat this. Even if you go through two, you're fine.
Yeah, even if they only last you a year, that's still a good deal.
Well, most summer tires are only supposed to last you for a year.
Yeah, and this is definitely a summer tire. You are not to be driving this on tire near freezing temperatures or through snow or ice. Clearly,
no, it's not a cold weather tire at all. But most of my customers that I'm putting this in have two different tires, anyways. But in Arizona, I mean, it's kind of a this is
when we have a week of cold weather, and everybody usually just goes, I don't know what to do. I'm gonna stay home. Or put on Ugg boots and drink pumpkin spice lattes. Okay.
Right.
So that's the Firehawk Indy 500 recommended by Chad, TroyTune.com. Go check it out. It's like, dude, that tire looks hot. Like for real.
Yeah,
that looks like it'd be a fun track day tire too.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely has that capability.
Not like race. You're not like going racing at it, but if you're doing a track day, you just need extra wheels for track day stuff. I bet that car.
It's physically a street tire, but it would do all of your autocross, all of your street tire stuff really nicely, and it's super affordable.
Yeah, totally.
And that's where we have always tried to. I could put you in the most expensive thing, and you'll always be happy, but you're always going to be expensive at that point. Yeah. So we have always tried to find that balance between your performance and budget consciousness, because I've learned early on that 90% of the customers have a wife that they have to answer to, and that usually means that they can't quite do everything unless they're in a particular budget, because that's all they're allowed to spend. So you have to really make it work.
Right. And
this tire makes it work. So.
Yeah, Tire Rack sells this tire $432.88 for a set of 4 shipped.
And do they come in many sizes, Chad? The normal many sizes, or do you have to like change?
No, they're all standard. You can get a 215, 205, and a 4517.
Yep, that's what I'm looking at right now.
Can you get 18?
I don't know about 18s.
You might be able to. I don't know. We don't put a ton of people in 18s because
I'll check for you.
Michigan, where it's like pothole century. There's like 90% potholes and 10%. But they do sell it in a 205/55/16, which is a tire that we use all the time. Yeah. And they might even make a 15-inch size for the people that still rocking the Holies. So
nothing wrong with the Holies. Don't start talking trash about the Holies.
I love it. I own 2 sets, dude.
All right, just making sure, dude. Just making sure.
They don't fit any car I actually own. But I've got to
because brakes.
yeah, brakes. I forgot about brakes.
Even our rental Cooper has the R56 brakes on it. I mean, it's the old R50 CVT, and it's got the R56 big brake kit on it.
Excellent. All right, and I think then with that, I believe we're done.
Yes.
Last chance? Yes. Okay, very good. Thanks, everybody, again, for sticking with us and listening and all the things. Chad, welcome back. Of course, like we already mentioned a zillion times, Detroit Tune, DetroitTune.com. Make sure you're following on all the internet, social medias, so that you get updated when the new website goes live, so you can check out all the cool stuff. That'll be pretty awesome. Todd, over at motoringstripes.com. What do we got going on? Nothing new? Any dribs and drabs of may take state stuff left just in case?
Yeah, there's a few things left over there. If it's showing still for sale, I've still got some, and dwindling down to just a few of those limited edition badges left.
There you go. Don't forget the cool Motoring Stripes hack. Use the contact form. Send Todd an email, and for $100 he will send you the White Roof Radio Sunroof Delete Kit. Especially handy if you live west of the Rockies and you want your air conditioning to work again. He will create a graphic that fits on any sunroof of any Mini Cooper, the color of your choosing. and charge like $100. You put it on, it takes like half an hour, and it's awesome. Trust me on that one. It's really cool. Not only that, but like stripes and other things. Just go to motoringstripes.com, because blank is boring. But now we are done. And again, thank you for listening. Thanks for sticking with us. Make sure you're following White Roof Radio on all the social medias. For those of you who also have been reading Motoring File and wondering where comments are, or wondering actually where Motoring File was a couple nights ago for about 3 or 4 hours, yeah, we're working on that as well. So just stay tuned. I'll make sure Gabe updates the Twitters and social medias when everything is back to working functionally correct at motoringfile.com.
Did you get hacked by the Russians?
No, no. Just go with, let's go with no, and let's just go and remember that Gabe, at his core, is a designer, not really so much a nerd.
A coder.
Right? So, some overdue maintenance, essentially, is what's causing comments to not work at motoringfile.com. So, I'm hope to have it resolved by the time you guys hear this. If not, no, just sit tight, because I'm probably having cocktails with Todd in Vegas right now. Anyway, we are done. Thanks again for listening, gang. This is the part of the show where I like to make the funny clicking sound, and then I say... Questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and click back over to whiteroofradio.com. There you can leave us a note in the show notes, or you can also email us, feedback@whiteroofradio.com. But until next time, gang, this is DB. I'm done.
Cheers.
See ya.
And we're out.